Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know as of 10 o'clock.
So I just saw this on Instagram. Trudeau saying it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. So they're going hard on the guns, which you know what that means.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that earlier today. And I mean, you got to think about it. They're going after handguns, and and he's doing it right after mass shootings.
All right.
Of course. I still think people are like, I still think people, at least people are on our side. Not that there's a side, but people that kind of like are awake to the situation are like still completely against this type of behavior. Now, I think people that are still kind of brainwashed are like completely supporting it. But with Trudeau's reputation right now, I don't know if he's going to be able to get away with it. Now, remember what he said. He said he's proposing a bill. And so it doesn't mean like he in Canada, it's not like he's going to like sign an executive order and do it. It still has to be voted on. Now, I wonder how it's going to play out. I wonder how do the Canadians really lose their right to own even handguns? It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because here in America, that ain't going to happen. I'm just going to tell you right now, that's not going to happen. They could say it's going to happen. That's why, honestly, I think that's why they're trying to push this whole pandemic treaty to, for everyone to give up their sovereignty to the World Health Organization.
Right there.
Because that would take care of it. And this is kind of sidetracking, but with the pandemic treaty, in there, it basically says that the World Health Organization gets to dictate what constitutes a health crisis. And the CDC is saying that gun violence constitutes a health crisis. The CDC and the WHO gets to dictate what a health crisis is. I mean, come on. It's not really hard to put two and two together to see what's actually happening here. Let's be real, right? The main goal is not to disarm Canada. They couldn't really give a shit about disarming Canada or not.
Yeah, it's the US.
I mean, it's the US. It's the US is the last beacon of hope for everybody. Now, I know people have said that, but it truly is.
But I don't feel like people even really understand what it means if the US does fall. Like, that's it. That's a wrap. No one's going to save us. Who?
Nobody's coming to save us, bro. Let me put it to you this way. If any country in the world needs help, do they call China? Do they call Russia? Or do they call the United States? They call the United States every time. When countries that are in famine don't have enough food to feed their people, they call the United States. They ask for help. The United States overwhelmingly gives hope, gives foreign aid, gives food, medical equipment. We do this constantly. Now, some of it is, shady, obviously, with, some of the players that we have, but some of it's not. And there's a lot of help. You're not going to get that from anyone else. You're not going to get China and Russia to help, countries that are in famine unless they get something out of it. The thing about it is the majority of Americans never wanted anything, from Somalia. The average Joe doesn't want, hey, Somalia, we're gonna help you not die, but in return we want your oil. We don't say that. The majority of us don't even care, and maybe we should start saying that. But maybe to, I don't know, make things a little bit more balanced. Maybe not. I don't know. That's a discussion that everybody can have. That's an open discussion that we could probably have as Americans. But the fact that we don't do it, and the fact that for the most part, we don't invade countries, other than Iraq, Afghanistan, and everything, other than those countries, which still a lot of Americans are pissed off about. There's nobody going to come to our rescue, especially now in today's society, in today's time period, especially when it comes to food and military. I'll give you an example. Look at Australia. They under the pandemic, they were locking down their own people. And they were crying for America to come help. All the protests that happened in Hong Kong. I got to put this pin up, dude. I'm clicking the shit out of it. And they're going to eat me. They're going to roast me in the comment section. That short one, he talks too much and he clicks that fucking pin.
What are you drinking?
Pepsi. What do you got?
I grabbed a beer.
Which kind?
Dos Equis.
Oh, I love Dos
Those
Equis.
are my favorite.
I love Dos Equis with the lime and the salt on the rim.
Oh yeah, you have
like
to.
it in a cold. So it's getting me right here. I
didn't know if you poured a Jack.
Oh yeah, no. Well, what's crazy is look what I got. Right.
Some.
Oh yeah, of course. This is the
Is
box
that
that's
your prop?
yeah. This is the box that's holding up my my webcam.
So is that stuff you were saying is like super old?
Well, this one's 20. Yeah, this one's 21 years. I mean, it's decent. I mean, if you're a
Is that Scotch?
yeah, it's Scotch. Or wait, no, is that? Yeah. That's blended Scotch. You're talking about Monkey Shoulder. Hold on, let me grab a bottle of Monkey Shoulder.
Monkey Shoulder. That's it.
It's right here. So just give me a sec.
Shoot, we need to get Monkey Shoulder to sponsor this podcast.
It's this stuff right here.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, I don't even think I've seen that anywhere here yet. Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't hear it. What'd you say?
I said we need to get Monkey Shoulder to sponsor the podcast.
I mean, I don't even know if they need us. I mean, I would love to sponsor Monkey Shoulder, but this right here is by far the best Scotch I have ever drinking. And I'm not we're not being sponsored by them or anything, but this is the smoothest Scotch I've ever drank. And let me tell you this right now, in the Scotch community, this is very debated. Like it's like you're either on the Monkey Shoulder side or you're fucking completely hate it, because this is so new and it's a blended Scotch, and like all the Scotch connoisseurs are like, oh, it's too soft, it's too smooth, it's not smoky enough. I don't know. I've drinking a bunch of Scotches, I've drinking a bunch of bourbons, and this right here is by far the smoothest, especially with root beer. And I know that's sacrilegious. And I know everyone who's a Scotch drinker that drinks only Scotch is going to roast me, but I got to tell the truth. This shit with fucking root beer, it's like water, dude. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I haven't had root beer mixed with the Monkey Shoulder, but I have mixed Crown Royal, and there was another brand of whiskey I tried, but no, root beer is actually really good with whiskey. Dude. I got my grandpa on that now. Using root beer to mix with it.
Oh yeah. At first I was like, no, I'm not gonna be a bitch and put root beer in my Scotch. I'm gonna drink it on the rocks. And then I drank it and I was like, it's good. And then I watched some dude put root beer in this thing. And I was like, I'll try it. And then I drank it. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. I was like, this is how I'm going to drink Monkey Shoulder from here on out. And that's what I did. And it did me very well and did me very bad too. Like, I mean, to the point where I was thrown out. I mean, you could drink a whole bottle of Monkey Shoulder with root beer and the whole thing disappear and you not even know it until it's too late.
How many of those you got stocked up?
9.
Okay, so this would be a perfect segue from the
Maybe
gun control.
11.
I mean, we can go back to that, but touch on the food shortage and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
maybe we could even start it off with what you sent me earlier about, didn't that just happen today?
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's go off of what I sent you earlier today. I got it right here on my phone.
Because to me, man, this topic is what's got me the most concerned right now.
Yep.
I mean, of
So-
course, guns too, but
Yeah. Oh, wait. What was that? Okay. So here we are. It says, Minnesota fire at commercial egg farm likely leaves thousands of chickens dead. Now, this was an article from Fox News, but I pulled it off of Wall Street Silver. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but or it's
Yeah,
probably
I
backwards.
can
huh?
read it.
Is it
No, I can
backwards?
read it. No, it
Okay.
flips it. Yeah, I can read it.
But so this isn't the first time that this has happened, right? So you know, me and you had talked about it a little bit earlier. These food shortages are only getting worse, and we're looking at some severe food shortages going into the future. In the you might not see it right now because what's today's what March or May 30th? Today May 30th or
Yeah,
May
May
30th?
30th.
Yeah, it's May 30th. A lot of people are saying that all the they're hitting a wave right now. They're getting a wave of food and surplus at the stores like Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club, because all the crap that was on out there in the ocean off the coast of California that was just chilling out there on those big giant super cargo ships are just now making their way to, you know, all the retail stores and all the wholesalers. There's a problem with that. So that seems like it's good because it's like they're just rushing this stuff out on the shelves and it looks like the shelves are full, and they are full. If you go to Sam's Club and all these other places, you'll see it. Here's the problem with that. Because there's expiration dates on them, some states have laws about, you know, oh, you can't sell them with expiration dates and stuff. And most of the time, the used before date or Best Buy, it used before this date, or it's best before this date,
Right.
will those are expiring soon. So what they want is they want to sell them now before they get expired, before this date, you know, expires, and so they don't lose profit. Well, in order to do that, you got to shove all this shit out on the shelves right now. So this summer, you're going to see a bunch of shit on the shelves. The problem with that is after summer, there ain't shit. And so from after summer going into August, a lot of predictions are we're going to start running out of food between July, August, maybe, you know, September. And because we had a shitty harvest last winter, and we had a shitty harvest last spring, and most farmers couldn't even plant their crops this year because of high fertilizer costs and high diesel. So farmers use diesel for their tractors, their trailers, and, you know, everything that they use on the farm.
Don't forget about the ones that had to till their crops in too.
Yeah, go ahead and say
Yep.
something about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're the one that mainly, you're the one that was sending me all that information, but I've seen videos that you sent me where farmers are saying that they've had received a notice from the government saying that they were ordered to basically till their crops in or cull their livestock, you know,
Yeah,
which is crazy to me.
Yeah, and especially with the chickens and shit too. Like, I mean, with what we're seeing with chickens is unreal, bro. Like, and the thing about the chickens bothers me the most. Now, we saw this with cattle in the beginning. Remember when 2022 hit or 2020 hit and the
Mhm.
pandemic and shutdowns and then stuff started to open back up, but they couldn't process the meat because they had no workers, because labor shortages. So the government was like, hey, you're going to have to, or the farmers were like, we're going to have to call our herd because we can't feed them. We don't have enough money to keep feeding these bastards because they're big and they're massive. And we literally only factored in, we only had this much money to factor in this much, and we would kill them and get the money for them, or butcher them and get the money for them. Now they can't do that. I mean, they couldn't do that then, and they had to bury them. Now they're going after chickens with this avian bird flu. And it started off in Israel, and it made its way like in Turkey and all these other countries. And it got here to the United States, and they've killed it's like 42 million chickens now. It's unreal. And some people say, well, wait a minute. 42 million chickens are really a lot, because we have 500 million chickens in the United States. So is 42 million really a lot of chickens? And I would say yes. Fuck yes, it's a lot of chickens. 42 million chickens is a lot of fucking chickens. And I would also say that it's only 42 million right now. What's it going to be when we get closer to December? Because you have to, if you're going to talk about this conversation or this topic, you're going to have to talk about the fact that they're using an RT-PCR test to test one bird in a flock of thousands. And if one bird tests positive or even gives a false test, do they retest these false tests? No. As long as there's one positive, they don't want to get a whole bunch. They don't want to get a couple negative ones and all that, because, then they might have a lawsuit or something. But what they do is they test one chicken, or they test a bunch of chickens. If one chicken tests positive, they kill the entire flock. It doesn't matter if it's 200 chickens or if it's 20,000 chickens. They kill the entire flock, and the farmers let them do it. And the reason the farmers let them do it is because they tell the farmers that the United States government under Joe Biden is going to pay them for their entire flock. Now, they don't have to transport this flock. They don't have to market this flock. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to pay the employees to herd these motherfuckers up and collect them and put them in there and process. They don't have to pay any of that. And they're going to give them the same amount that they would make at market. They give them market price per pound. Per chicken, or it's either per chicken or per head of chicken or per pound, whatever it is. But it's the same market price. But they don't have to pay all this overhead crap. So they're actually making money on the deal. So if you were a farmer and you're barely making it by because 2020 and inflation and your inputs to feed are really like fucking kicking you in the dick, and then I come along from the government and I'm like, I got one chicken, he tested positive. Got to kill your whole flock and make you a bunch of money in the process. I hope that doesn't inconvenience you. Most farmers would be like, how much money are you going to give me? You're going to buy my whole flock, and I don't have to pay for any of this other crap. God, I really need it right now. Biden administration will pay farmers more money not to farm. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly what you're saying.
Exactly. When did that come out?
I was looking for a date, but this paragraph right here is pretty interesting. The Biden administration announced on Wednesday, I'll try and find the date, that it would expand a program that pays farmers to leave land fallow, part of a broader government-wide effort to cut greenhouse gas. Here we go again.
Yeah, greenhouse gas
emissions in half. But guess what year? I'll give you one guess to guess the year that they're trying to tackle this by.
2030.
By 2030. And then we'll get more into that maybe in another episode about the 2030 agenda, or if you want to touch on it right now.
No, I mean, well, yeah, we can go into it, but I'd like to talk about this food shortage thing a little bit more, because I think it's important for everybody to know this. Like, if I don't know how many people that are going to see this, and if anyone does see it, I hope that they are preparing for, it's not like it's going to be Armageddon, but fucking prepare like it's going to be Armageddon, because, for everyone out there that's going to be listening to this, there's no more food warehouses anywhere. The United States of America is the one that produces the most food in the world. Per our population, we have the most excess food, and we usually give away our excess food. We don't have any excess food this year. it's so serious right now. By December, we won't even have enough food to feed our population. It will be the first time that this happened, that this is happening since the Great Depression. Now, if you think about this for a second, the Great Depression was in the 1930s. There is not a single person alive right now that has experienced it in full. There's not a single person that was alive in the 1930s that was old enough to understand what was going on today. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody that was like born in 1939 was
Right.
like, oh, my grandpa told me stories or my dad told me stories, you know, but nobody truly knows what we're about ready to go through. Now I
And
seen
it's
some,
not just this isn't just the US,
no,
right?
this is,
This is
this is,
worldwide.
this is global. This is happening. Last year they killed, what was it, like 14 million minks in Norway
Yeah.
or Sweden, something. I think it was Norway, or maybe it might have been Finland. One of those Nordic countries. They killed like it was like between 11 million and 14 million minks. Now, to me and you, minks doesn't mean anything, but minks to people of Sweden and Norway and Finland, that's like their chickens, and you know they eat them, and it's good source of protein and all that. They killed 21 million chickens or 28 million chickens in the UK during 2020, 2021. And now they're killing, you know, upwards, you know, between 35 to 42 million chickens already here in 2022. And now they're saying that in Japan and in Southeast Asia, there is a swine flu epidemic killing the pigs, because pork is big in Southeast Asia. A lot of people don't know that. People in America don't know that pork and chicken, well, chicken's the primary staple globally. That's why I'm more scared about the whole chicken thing than anything else. More so than beef, more so than even pork. But they're attacking pork too. In Japan, they're culling thousands of pigs in Japan. They're killing thousands of pigs all over the place, in the Philippines, in Laos and stuff like that. And they're trying to kill chickens too. Chickens is used everywhere. Chicken, everyone can eat chicken too. Like if you're a meat eater, there's not a single person, you won't meet a person that's like, oh, I can have beef, but I can't have chicken. Like almost no one does that. And even if you were one of those people that were like, nah, I really can't have chicken, if you were starving enough, you'd be like, dude, give me chicken. I love chicken. But if there's no chicken, and chicken is chickens lay eggs, which
Right. That's what I was
are,
going to touch on. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, just the fact that they can lay eggs and one chicken can produce so much food. I mean, what some of them lay up to what, 6 or 7 a day or something like that,
Well, I
right?
mean, I don't know about 6 or 7, but I do know that yeah, I mean, I got chickens right now. They're not laying any eggs yet because they're still young. But I looked into it, and you know, like an egg a day is good. You know, some chickens lay, you know, a couple eggs a week. And from what my buddy Rich in California was saying, was that his chickens they lay a couple. I think they lay a couple eggs a week. But he did say this. This is something new that I didn't know. When chickens start producing eggs, they only got about 8 years, 5 to 8 years to lay eggs, and then they stop producing eggs. Now I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he told me. But that's kind of weird. But the egg thing. So let's talk about the egg thing. When chickens, when you slaughter chickens, you slaughter all the eggs that they would produce, and they're, you know, over the course of the lifetime. You know, that's thousands of fucking eggs. You know, at least hundreds of eggs per chicken. And what are eggs used in? You know, like, you know, because I was talking to one of my buddies, I won't say his name, unless he wants to come on or something. But you know, I was talking to him, and I was like, you know, they're killing the chickens, and you're like, okay, Josh, well, you know, what does that mean? I mean, well, you know, do you like chicken? And he's like, well, yeah, I like chicken, but you know, I don't have to eat it. And well, what about eggs? He's like, nah, I don't eat eggs. I'm like, do you eat pasta? Because I know the motherfucker loves pasta. And he's like, well, yeah. I'm like, how do you think you make pasta, bud? You don't think you use eggs to make pasta? And then he sat and thought about it. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I forgot you use eggs to make pasta. I was like, yeah, you also use eggs. You use like the whites of eggs for it's like a sealant to preserved like foods and rices and cereals and stuff like that. And you also use powdered eggs in like a lot of different fillers because it's good protein. It's everybody can eat eggs. Like hardly anyone can't eat eggs. It's not one of those, foods where like, oh, I can't have it because, I'm lactose intolerant or something, something like that, or gluten-free. Everybody can pretty much eat eggs. So it's a big deal. It's an absolute big deal. And the fact that you can grow chickens fast, it takes 2 years to grow a cow to the time that where you can slaughter or butcher him. Pigs, not so, it doesn't take that much time, was like 90 days or something like that. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. But chickens, you can slaughter a chicken in like, what do they got it? 28 days, like 28 to 40 days. You could slaughter a chicken. You need chickens. You absolutely need chickens. Globally, you need chickens. And so that's what terrifies me the most about the whole chicken shortage and the egg shortage. Right now, they're predicting eggs are going to go up so much where it's going to be like $1 or $2 by December per egg. Now, when you first hear that, you're like, dude, nah, that's bullshit. But if you just think about this, we've already killed like 40 something million chickens, right? If you continue this trend, like half of our chickens are going to be dead by December. Okay. And the price of eggs have already, I don't know where you're at, but the price of eggs have already doubled here. The price of eggs are already like 23 cents an egg here. And, when they used to be like 9 cents or 8 cents an egg, they're like 23 cents an egg. They're already like tripled in price. And it's like, can you see, and not only that, but we haven't even hit hyperinflation yet. Once we hit hyperinflation, there's no telling where eggs can go. I watched what's that one guy's name? The Economic Ninja. Have you ever seen him?
Just this little stuff you sent me here and there.
Yeah, he had one other guy on, and this was here recently, and I forget the name of the other guy, but they were sitting there talking about this chicken egg shortage. And he said, remember in Venezuela, he said that in Venezuela, gold and the price of eggs kind of like were similar. It went up in value that much. And the reason why it went up in value, gold skyrocketed in value, was because, everyone started like trading their worthless paper currency for gold and silver so they can preserve that purchasing power. But eggs went up too, because people started buying all kinds of food and stuff. And then, eggs was one of them. And people love eggs in Venezuela, but that just goes to show you how high food can go. People that have never experienced hunger have no fucking clue how high prices in food can go. And when you're fucking starving, and you look over and you see your kids starving, and they're looking up at you going, Daddy, are we going to eat today? Hey, Dad, do you think it's possible we're going to eat today or eat tomorrow? You get told that once, it really fucks with you. You get told that twice, it really, really fucks with you. You get told that about 3 or 4 times. Now you, as a law-abiding citizen, you're on a hunt and you're going to get some food for your kids, even if you're going to have to do something illegal. And so will you take all your money out and try to buy food? There's no food here. There's no food there. This guy's selling eggs for $12 an egg. Are you going to buy a couple eggs? You're going to bitch about it. You're going to be like, this is highway robbery. And the dude's going to be like, do you want the eggs? And you're going to be like, I'll take a fucking dozen of those things. And you'll buy a dozen of them at $12 each. If it means that your family is going to survive. And now the new price of eggs is $12. And so people don't realize what a serious situation we're in, because we've never, even if we were in the, during the Great Depression with the United States, it was only the United States, maybe a couple countries that we traded with, maybe they were fucked too, but it wasn't global. Dude, we're all experiencing this at the same time. Every country's going through this. You would think, I seen the little 10-minute thing right there pop up. You would think this would be the most unifying moment in all of of not just American history, all of like the world, because we really have an opportunity here to come together as a planet, you know, and I think we will eventually. I think the whole planet will be more unified after this is all said and done. But it's going to get scary, bro. It's going to get scary for a lot of people who are not prepared. And am I completely prepared? No, no one's ever completely, completely prepared, because you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. But you can, take some protective measures. You can buy a lot more canned foods and stuff like that. And I know people are doing that right now. And I just hope it's more people than what I think it is. Because if it's not, then it's going to be some pretty rough times.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's why I always say hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You know?
Yep. There was something else we are going to talk about. What was else on the agenda or the schedule?
I guess it would be a good time to touch on what do you think we can do to get out of this mess, and if you even like your opinion on whether or not we do get out of this mess.
Out of which mess? The food crisis, or the state of the union type thing, or what?
Yeah, I guess overall as a nation, because obviously there's an agenda to take America as you and I have known it, the America that we grew up in. There's obviously an agenda to take that down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I've thought about this. I think about this all the time. You think about this all the time too. Anyone who's awake right now, I think thinks about this randomly throughout the day at certain points. It can't escape, like you can't escape it. I think that we all thought about what's the best way how to approach this. And I keep coming back to we have to walk through this fire, bro. And I don't want to. I don't want the people that I care about and love to walk through this too, because I don't know who's going to make it on the other side, especially anyone that's not near me that I can't go help and, and take care of. It's going to be really terrifying. But ultimately, I don't see another way. I don't see another way how you stop this from happening in the future, or how you stop it now, unless people, especially Americans, and I mean specifically Americans, walk through the fire and go, hey, what in the fuck is going on? There is something not right. Something is definitely fucking broken. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I can't feed my kids. I can't pay my bills. This ain't working. We need something different than this. And now we need to find out what caused all this. That has to happen. Before that happens, it's got to get bad. And people have to go a couple days without eating. I'm sorry, but nothing wakes up a motherfucker more than not eating for a couple days. It just doesn't. I remember when we didn't get to eat for about 2 or 3 days. It was about 3 days in Iraq, and I was like, I was pretty damn hungry by that third day. What's funny is though, my brother, he fasts for 21 days. And I was like, dude, how did you do that, bro? Like, I don't know how. He's the only dude I know that fast for 21 days, only water. And dude, he lost a lot of weight doing that. And he looked really good. But I remember when I didn't eat for 3 days and I was ready to kill somebody. And the people that are used to getting their, the soy lattes and their avocado toast, those guys, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they can't go down to Starbucks, or when they can't go get their, mocha lattes, and they just can't just enjoy it. Hell, when gas gets so high, they can't even go on a trip or something like that. And they're barely surviving. then they're going to want change. Are they going to blame the system? Probably. But that's why we need, that's why we need this John Durham trial to keep kicking out shit. Because as long as this John Durham trial keeps kicking out shit while the economy's getting shitty and everything's on the destruction path going down, as long as John Durham keeps kicking shit out and we keep on saying, oh, so this asshole was in control of this and this asshole pushed this forward, this agenda forward, people will start to wake up and go, wait a minute, what did he do? He did this and he did this, and they're working in conjunction with each other. And these motherfuckers are working with the FBI and the CIA against us. And these guys are the ones that caused the food shortage. Yeah, they're definitely going to be, there's definitely going to be some pissed off Americans.
Yeah, I agree. We're getting close to the end, but I wanted to ask you to all the people out there that say, you brought up John Durham, to all the people that say, nothing's happening, nothing will ever happen to Hillary Clinton. What's your take on that? And we got to wrap it up here pretty quickly, but I just want to get your thoughts on that.
No, something definitely is happening. Now, I can say that all of us have had our doubts at any one point in time.
Absolutely.
All of us have had our doubts. There's no more doubting for me. There's absolutely no more doubting for me. With John Durham, the direction that he's going with the Sussman trial, if you're following it, you know that he's setting the stage right now. And what's going to happen, what I'm predicting is, just like how me and you were predicting that there was going to be mass shootings, closer to we get to summer, I'm predicting there's going to be a George Floyd 2.0 incident. I'm predicting that there's going to be BLM riots, Antifa riots. I also predict that there's going to be Biden's bringing over Azov Battalion, white guys that look like, me and you. They're going to dress them up with masks, and
the border's wide open.
Yeah, border's wide open. They're going to dress up all those Azov Battalion Nazi guys with MAGA hats and masks on, so you can't see their face. And that's why we got monkeypox. And they're going to probably, I think the FBI and the CIA and these banksters and all that deep state are orchestrating these Azov Battalion Nazis to shoot Black Lives Matter people that are coming over the border, or the Haitians that you can't differentiate an American black person and a Haitian if they're wearing a mask on and they got Black Lives Matter shirt. And if they're holding a sign like this, and you got an Azov Battalion Ukrainian shooting them, to the layman person, they're going to see, oh, Trump supporter shoots Black Lives Matter insurrectionist, but not realizing that, no, that Haitian guy's dressing up because he was told to dress up as a Black Lives Matter person.
Yeah,
And
they need something like that to really go after the guns, to really get that pushed through. We're down to a minute. We got about a minute left. So just to close this out, and we could pick back up on the next one, but I got to call it a wrap for tonight. But is there anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, what time are we doing this tomorrow?
I'm good about 9:30 my time.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds
We
good.
got less than a minute, so. But check this out, guys. We don't really know exactly what we're doing. We're kind of, learning as we go. But if you guys like what you hear, like and subscribe. Drop some comments down below on maybe some other topics you guys want to hear us talk about. And we're just having fun, guys. This is kind of the stuff we've been doing for the last couple of years. We just figured out why not film it and just see where it goes.
Yeah, see if there's other like-minded people out there that talk like this. We're two regular dudes just talking. Some of the stuff we don't even know what we're doing. It's just, this is a journey for everybody. And if you guys want to partake, write a comment. We'll try to read as much comments as we can.
Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know as of 10 o'clock.